Do you believe in happy endings? I ponder the question in my mind, not sure how to respond. Don't we all, Doc? The man's eyes are calm as he considers me from across the table. Well, there are a lot of people who don't. I mean, they hope for one, but don't actually expect it to happen. My arms fold in front of my chest as I study a speck of dirt on the wall behind him. Everything seems more meaningful than having this conversation. I guess you just answered your question. He clicks his tongue and keeps staring at me. I want to know how you feel, Rena. I groan and rock back and forth in my metal chair. As I told you before, I'm not really good at communicating my feelings to a stranger. He sips from the glass of water in front of him and continues to stare at me. I can't hold his gaze, returning to the dirt speck on the wall. I'm afraid in this case, you don't have much of a choice, he says like I don't know this already. Nothing is a choice these days. I wiggle around in my chair under his glare. The orange jumpsuit they stuck me in is too large. I rolled the sleeves up all the way to my elbows, but the ends still keep slipping down. When I push them back up, my fingernails leave red scratch marks behind. My skin is even paler than usual. Has it really been 3 months that I have been locked up? It seems like I was arrested just yesterday. I focus back on Doc. Do you believe in happy endings? He takes a deep breath and lets the air slowly escape through his lips. This is not about me but about you. Of course he would say that. Sharing for him is a one-way street. Well, I give him my best winning smile. Maybe it would help me to open up if I knew more about you. He sighs. That's not how it works. An irritable undertone swings in the words. I'm sure he doesn't want to be here any more than I, though he neither has a choice. As court-appointed shrink, he is required to finish this interview, at least if he wants to get paid. I plan to make him work hard for his money, maybe even push him far enough to call it quits. That won't score me any points with the court but will get him off my back. Talking to him feels like he is judging me and I've had enough of that to last me a lifetime. I glance at the one-way mirror on the wall. They are watching us, aren't they? You know they are. He squints at me. Does that bother you? I grin, tilting my head to the side. Not at all. They have been spying on me 24/7. They call it suicide watch like I'm seriously going to hurt myself. They observe me when I sleep, when I have nightmares and fight with my blanket. They invade my privacy when I take a shower and place a guard in front of the stall when I take a pee. I'm locked up for 23 hours a day, being allowed in the exercise yard for exactly 60 minutes. I bounce a basketball around. That's all I ever do. And yes, it bothers me. A lot. I feel like I have been convicted already. This notion of being innocent until proven guilty might be a nice concept in theory, but sitting in the Cook County Jail, day in and day out, puts these words in a whole new perspective. They treat me like a criminal, which is not only nerve-wracking, but pisses me off. I had my reasons after all and the right to be heard, but no one really seems interested. Even the doc only goes through the motions. He continues to nag. You are evading my question, Rena. Do you believe in happy endings or not? He's not going to let this one slide. Honestly, Doc, I don't. He smiles, writing something down in his notebook. The statement likely confirms even more how screwed up I am. Was that always the case? I play dumb. What? You not believing in happy endings? I roll my eyes. My mother used to read me fairy tales when I was little and I hoped I'd meet my Prince Charming. Don't all children believe in that? He studies me for a moment. When did she die? A cold claw grabs me, just as it usually does whenever someone asks me about my dead mother. Battling the sudden hitch in my throat with gritted teeth, I'm ready to jump out of the chair. That's in my file. His brows crunch together. I want to hear it from you. There's no sympathy in his eyes. He is playing some type of mind game. I was 5. My voice trembles slightly and a few treacherous tears prick in the corners of my eyes. How did that make you feel? The claw is back with all its force, squeezing the wind out of me. I jump up. This conversation is over. My voice is shrill and tears blur my vision. Why does he have to poke around in old wounds? Sit down. His finger points at the chair as he barks out the words. I will decide when we are done. I glance at the mirror, almost certain that the guard will barge through the door at any second. They will probably tie me down. I fall back into the chair. You were saying, Doc? My eyes are focused on my fingers as I scrape invisible dirt out from underneath my nails. I don't want him to notice the few tears that have escaped. I want to know what you felt when your mother died. I quickly wipe my cheeks with my sleeves. I was sad, I suppose. Were you angry? Another lump starts to build in my throat, but I manage to suppress more tears. No. In reality, I was furious with her for abandoning me. I don't believe you. His eyes search my face for a reaction to his words. I am finally able to pull myself back together and return to my poker face. Tough. That's my testimony, whether you like it or not. He scribbles some more in his little book. This is not an interrogation, Rena. You don't give testimony. I snort. Well, it sure feels like one. I mean, anything I say can be used against me in a court of law, right? Only in relation to your state of mind during the act. The act? I snort again. What a way to sugarcoat what I did. Doc, I'm accused of murdering a man in cold blood. Wouldn't it be more fitting to call it a crime? I'm not here to judge you, Rena. All I'm doing is determining whether you should be tried as an adult and whether you knew the difference between right and wrong. The rest will be up to a jury. Do you think I'm guilty, Doc? That's irrelevant. This is getting ridiculous. Why should I spill my guts to him if he has made up his mind already? Not for me. If you want me to trust you, you have to be honest with me. He regards me with those dark brown eyes. There is a certain warmth reflected in them but also a lot of indifference. He is doing his job, that's all. Truthfully, I never thought about it. Now that's a lie. There's no way he doesn't have an opinion about this lunatic 17-year-old who sliced her boyfriend open. It has been all over the news for months. Sure, Doc, whatever. If he wants to play games, so be it. There's nothing else he will be getting out of me. He must realize that he has reached a dead end and change his tactics. Why don't you tell me how you and Brent Parks met? I mentally groan. This will take forever and I will never get rid of him. I hope your wife isn't expecting you home anytime soon because if you want to know about Brent, it'll take a while. He leans back in his chair and pushes the notebook away. I have all night, if that's what it takes, Rena. He has no clue what he just signed up for. Well, Doc, let me assure you, there won't be a happy ending for you today.